Hey, 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 we are live, y'all. Happy Friday, everybody. Hey, T, how are you?
Hey, Leash girl, I am so glad it's TGI Friday. It's been a
Child, who
crazy,
you
crazy
telling?
week.
Listen. I just feel like I'm just sitting kind of low. I don't want to mess up
Whoa.
my.
Okay.
All right. I think that's good. Hopefully that'll stay.
Mm-hmm. With that sliding down.
I know. How's your day, T? How was your day?
My usual, busy but good. I'm just glad that part of it
It's
is done.
Friday. Yes. My day has been so busy since 8 o'clock this morning. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It
been
gets like
busy. It's
that.
been busy.
It gets like that.
Yeah.
That's why I be telling you, you need to unplug sometime, girl.
Listen, y'all. Toni always telling me to sit down, not sit down, sit down. You know how your grandma used to say when you go over to her house, she be like, sit down somewhere. Yeah, that's Toni telling me, sit down. Go on over there, and
And
sit
just
down somewhere.
go on and do it, child. Because we got so much going on, Leash, between the two of us. We really do. And so
Oh
much that
yeah.
we're responsible for as well. So it's
Yes.
yeah, overwhelming sometimes.
You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. And you can always say what you asked for because we've asked for these things, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, you do have to prepare yourself for. I don't know what that is. Sorry, y'all. You have to prepare yourself. I think it's dead skin. It's driving
Mm-hmm.
me nuts, though. Well, you have to prepare yourself for the things that you ask for at the same time. And sometimes, like you said, you do have to unplug. You do have to sit down. You do have to just kind of rest when you can rest.
It's chill because you can burn yourself out, and you do have to take some time off. It's not like a 24/7 constant thing. You need to take off to rejuvenate,
Yes.
create those juices again, and then come back at it rested, because a weary mind is not always the best mind.
I agree. I agree. So that's our week. Our week has been busy. My day has been crazy. You can see it on my face, T. My day is crazy, 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 crazy. I have literally, I ask, I pray for a lot of things, and
Hmm.
there are a lot of things that I want to do as far as my vision is concerned. And it seems like everything is like coming at one time, like boom, 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 boom. And it's like, wait
Right.
a minute, I wasn't ready, I wasn't ready quite yet. I wasn't ready. So now
Like
it's like you
ready,
gotta
ready.
try to get ready, right? Well, now you gotta get ready because you're ready now.
But sometimes it happens like that, though, Lise. That's why it's another reason why it's good to just kind of take a deep breath and
Hmm.
decide what direction and how you want to go in it, which way you want to go, what you want to conquer first. So that's
Absolutely.
so important, though.
I agree. And Kanye, he's been in the news for a minute, and Kim has responded.
Hmm.
And I just feel that I understand his mental health issues, but I know that Kanye is really calculated. He got
Oh,
an
yeah.
album. He got an album coming out today. See, there to go that album again. But at the
Hmm.
same time, I really think his tangents are stemming from his personal life. I think that something happened because everybody has a trigger.
Hmm.
I think that something happened for him to feel um, defenseless in a sense. I don't know if it was something he didn't agree upon, maybe with his daughter's modeling um, ventures. Maybe it's something he didn't like that,
Hmm.
over in Kardashianville, because, hey, you never know.
That's a whole nother world over
That's a
there.
whole nother word over there. But something happened to trigger him. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Something happened to trigger him. And it's just unfortunate, that he has to kind of go through this. And I think a lot of time, with grief, he's still grieving. And I don't think it's grief. I was actually talking to Latanya Michelle, who is the editor-in-chief of Proof Magazine.
Proof Magazine.
But, and she mentioned that it could be guilt. Like he can feel guilty about his mother passing. Like maybe I didn't do enough. I didn't do enough. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? So there could be some guilt there, because a lot of times, when people die, you always got that one person throwing themselves over the casket. And that's probably and that's the guiltiest one. You know what I'm saying? The guiltiest one is the one throwing themselves on the ground. They falling out. They falling out because they start thinking about what I woulda, coulda, shoulda have done, and now I can't do it. So, it's very important that, we kind of pray for him, keep, and hope that whatever he's going through gets through,
Yeah, but something, Lish, like what we talked about, what you were saying earlier. First of all, I'm not a mental expert, but I do know that sometimes people do things that are calculated, like you said.
Right.
And the last time he had such an issue as he has right now, he had an album coming out. So it's like this the very last time something, right? So you wanna. So there may be a trigger, but it may be a calculated trigger. We don't know. And I'm not one to sit here and ponder and say he did this, why, but it does give you pause to wonder.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I hope, that everything, works out. Hollywood is hard. I think it's really hard for them because it's a whole different level. And you're in the spotlight all the time. And I just feel that, it's a whole different level from what a regular person would experience. And me might look at it and say, it's not hard. But for them, they have a lot. They're a business all by themselves. They have a lot of things that they have to think about and consider and work through to keep themselves relevant, to move their careers forward. And just, Hollywood is hard. So I just hope Kanye gets it together. Whatever he's
and also, right. And they also are trying to be ahead of the next person that's right behind them, ready to take their spotlight.
That's right. That's right. So, it's really unfortunate. Hey, Dindy, how are you? So, yeah. Sorry, y'all. I got the shiny face, the lights. It's hot up in here. It's been like 100 degrees in Georgia, like for 4 days straight.
Hey, Stacy.
Hey, Stacy, how you doing? So it's hot up in here. Y'all, listen, I ain't even gonna lie, it's hot. So my face is a little shiny. It's gonna be that way. It'd be all right.
Well, you know how my person over here, I told her make sure she get that email in, Miss Fan, because she can't just be showing up. Miss Fan, you got to go through the channels. You send your request to the thechatradioshow@gmail.com if you want to be on this show. Miss Fan, I'm just saying.
Listen. We had a great show last night. If y'all missed it, go over to YouTube and check it out. It'll be uploaded to Ebony TV. Shout out to everybody that has been subscribing and watching us on Ebony TV. Our little channel over there is popping, T. I'm like, okay,
I know. I've been telling all my friends, my kids, my everybody, make sure y'all follow you girls, because you don't want me to say like, I'll be like, I know you from where?
Yeah, look. Your name is what? Look, looking over the glass is like, I met you where?
I said the girls are getting closer and closer to that big screen.
Listen. But yeah, make sure y'all go over to Ebony TV. We have it scrolling across the bottom. If you want to be a guest on Let's Chat, just send your request to thechatradioshow@gmail.com. Please specify if you want a radio or a live interview. Now, mind you, radio interviews are free, but live interviews are not.
Right. So just let us know which platform.
Right. You gotta let us know. I said I didn't mean to say it like that, but you gotta let us know which one you want to do. And we love Yes, and
Yeah.
if music, we love music. We love artists that come in to the chat room.
Hmm.
So make sure that you send your music to thechatradioshow@gmail.com as well. We'd love to play your music and just support you because we're all about support.
Absolutely. And speaking of music, Leash, you and I, we got such a musical historical lesson last night from That's One. And then the one and only EP Pope came on and just solidified everything. We love his music. He's in rotation. He has that jazz album dropping, but right now you can only get those tunes here on Let's Chat exclusively. But it was so nice to talk to them last night, Leash. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. We had a good time yesterday. I loved that we got a hey Lance. We got like a rap and hip hop historical moment yesterday. We
yes.
had two artists on different ends of the spectrum, but we were
Hmm.
able to get just like an idea or be able to see or understand in that time how
Hmm.
hip hop and rap have evolved.
That's true. And the difference, the way some people distinguish between rap and hip
Mhm.
hop. A lot of people don't see it as one and the same. So I didn't
Absolutely.
realize that last night until Bass One explained it and showed us how it originated and how it started out. So
Mhm.
that was eye opening as well.
He had a great time on the show.
He
EP Pope
did.
had a great time. Now we go. EP said that he gonna come on the show and talk that talk with us about something other than music. Now listen,
Oh,
Irving Pope. When we start talking that talk, I don't want to hear no. Yeah, I can't talk about that.
then why you here? Y'all know we want exclusive. We want to drop those exclusive bombs right here.
Right? Listen, you know what it is. We need you to talk that talk. But I think I'm gonna have him on. We're gonna do a relationship show. Um,
Oh.
yeah, I think he'll be great for that.
A relationship according to EP Pope. See, I like the
Well,
sound of that.
not just him. I want to have Love Maya back, and I want to
Hmm.
have editor in chief of Proof Magazine, Latanya Michelle. I want to have her back in and do a roundtable. When we do things like that, we like to have men in the building so we
Yeah.
don't get no emails talking about some email bashing because we ain't got time
I
for that.
True. I love Latanya, her energy.
Her
She was such
energy.
a joy to have on the show. Make sure y'all go check
Mhm.
out our archives. But she was awesome, Leash. I really enjoyed her.
Absolutely. I think we talked for like 3 hours this morning. It was crazy. She a whole vibe, and it was a great conversation. We talked about some of everything, but a real great conversation. Hey, Stacy
Hmm.
Johnson Leonard. We're
And I
just
think
waiting for.
that explains her quite well. She is a vibe all by
She
herself.
is. She is a vibe, and it's just an exciting vibe. It's just
Hmm.
really exciting. That's like, well, okay, we can vibe with it.
Right.
um Everything, that's my new thing. Everything got to be a vibe. You got to be careful about the people that you have around you. um
Hmm.
so yeah.
Absolutely. But y'all know, Lisha and I, we get on here and we ain't talked 24 hours ago or throughout the day. But we have a lot of people that are tuning in for the very first time, and we want to say thank you for joining us. But just to give you guys a little background on what Lisha and I do here, we started out our radio show, and now you get to see you girls. But we started our radio show about 6, 7 years ago, and we were celebrating literature. Because Lisha and I are readers first and foremost, but we have evolved into so much more than just reading. We just celebrate the dopeness of all the arts. No matter what it may be, those they have come through the doors of Let's Chat. Our show allows all our listeners and our guests, Alicia and I as well, to interact with each other in a fun, intimate, and friendly environment. We get to hear the passion, and now with Facebook Live shows, we get to see the passion behind what it is that they do. And you never know who may be listening and be touched by something that is being said. So we want you guys to get ready for another fantabulous show here on Let's Chat with me and your
Yeah,
girlie. We're gonna have a good time.
absolutely. Absolutely. We have our first fabulous guest. Now, I call her Kai. I don't know how to pronounce the first part of her name. I don't know. You know, we can tear her name up. We can tear her name up real bad up in here in the chat room. So we got to be real careful. But her name is really unique. She is dope in real life. You know, that's my new thing. I think I'm gonna trademark that, dope in real life. But she is. She does so much in the literary world. She does so much with authors, for authors, and it's really refreshing to have someone that goes hard, like really goes hard in the paint for her people. And I appreciate to be able to experience somebody like that. So we have our first fabulous guest. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We want you to move over just a twinge.
Just a little, no, the other way.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God. This is new. This is a new platform. I've never seen this before. So this is pretty awesome. We say dope in real life, as we say. Yeah, this is pretty cool. And thank you for your patience. When I say I just walked in the door, I just walked in the door. I didn't even reset the alarm or nothing. I'm like, let me get in here. Because I always get confused with the East Coast, West Coast, you know, Midwest timing, EST, CST. And I'm like, I knew I had given myself enough time. You're like, nope. No, you didn't. So, yeah.
We love it. We love it. Now tell everybody just a little bit about yourself and your literary journey.
Well, I started about actually 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I started. I met this guy online. And remember back in the day when Microsoft had that network where people could play bid whist and hearts and spades. Not bid whist, it was spades and hearts. Well, I met this guy online, and he took us to a private room, and then we were talking about just things in general in life. And then
what kind of room was you in?
Yeah, well, it was a hard room. And it was really interesting. He was actually the writer. And the interesting thing is he started writing poetry to me. Then he started writing erotic poetry. Then he finally tamped down. He says, "You know what? Let me get this on you. Let me get these hot little 2 paragraphs on you." And when he looked them on me, I'm like, yeah. So I sent him about 10 pages of things he needed to learn and things he needed to brush up on. He came a little light. He was a lightweight. So I'm like, let me tell you something. But the interesting thing is, he was the writer. I never aspired to write. But interestingly enough, it sparked enough that the erotic stuff that I pinned back and forth, because it was a battle at that point. He had to come back with something, and I came back with something. And we kept going back and forth. And let me tell you, what was really interesting is he never did publish. He was the one who was inspiring to write. He never did publish. I used what we pinned to each other over the internet as chapters 16 through 22 of my first book. And interestingly enough, that's where I learned my first lesson of business. Now, you know, he was supposed to write a portion of the book. I was like, okay, let's and he didn't. I think the inner jealousy or inner something kicked in, and he didn't do his part, and I was pushing to get it on time and out on time. So let me tell you, he didn't do his part, so I wrote his part. But guess what happened as it goes to press? Guess what happened when it went to press?
Some coin.
You know what's up. He wanted money, and he wanted more money than he even deserved, because 1 out of the 3 characters was based on his life. Okay, so I got a lawyer involved, and I said, you know what? I paid for the editing. I paid for the cover design. I paid for printing, everything that made that book what it was. I did the writing. He didn't even put in 1 iota on a piece of paper. He never did. We gave time after time after time. So let me tell you, when I had it written in the contract that said he would start getting money, and it wasn't as much as he was asking for, like 50% when it was 3 authors. Like, really, dude, really, that's what we own now? So I had the lawyer to write in that he would get money after 2,000 had sold, right?
Right.
So, ladies, how many books did I have printed?
1999.
Damn straight. Damn straight. And then and it took me a long time after, because that was a wake-up call. And my son, and I still hadn't learned that lesson, because recently a family member, my son had to tell me when it came to my daughter. My daughter was supposed to be writing a book with me, and it hurt my heart that she did not feel deserving or worthy enough, that I'm telling her she can write, and she's not believing it enough, that she didn't get her part in on time, and I had to print without whatever. And it was my son that got in my butt 2 days ago. He says, Mom, just because a person can write doesn't mean that they should write.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay. You know, who it's almost like he become the parent, you know, when it's all he's like,
as a parent, when you have, especially your kids, you see things for them. You see things in them. So you know their potential. You know what they can do. And you know sometimes they need a little fire. I just need to give her a little fire. If I give her fire, she gonna make it happen. But I need to put a little fire up under her. You know, but that's as a parent. We you know, you really kind of know your kids. But we do that. We do overstep sometime as parents. But it's all in love. You know, it's never to be any other way, you know, for our kids. But I just love the fact that you're like, baby, I know what you can do. I know what you got. I'm your biggest cheerleader. Nobody on this planet is a bigger cheerleader than your mother.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true. But sometimes we have to allow our children to come into their own. Like my son, he was here in Chicago. He went to school at Fisk. Then he came home, and then he went to South Carolina. Then he came home again to Chicago. And it wasn't until he moved to Houston. Now, I think Chicago is the end all and be all. You know, the transportation, the food. We got the best pizza. I don't know where y'all from, but don't come with that your pizza.
Okay, I'm in New York, Miss Kai.
Baby.
It's always a battle.
I'm like, let's not go there. But he moved to Houston, and he is flourishing in Houston. He's flourishing in Houston. And it was like, okay, I get it. He needed to be there. He always felt in Chicago that he was looking over his shoulder, you know, as a young Black male. And I had to do that. You know, of course, I want him close to home, but letting him do his thing. He is now getting in my butt about, Mom, you need to have an LLC. You need to have business credit. He trying to wait. I was handling his business. Now he helped handling my business. It's like, who's your daddy? Now he's trying to get me straight. Because the thing that we didn't do, and some of us didn't do as parents, is we didn't sit our children down. We thought they would get life as they went along. I never sat down with him to teach him how to balance a checkbook, or how even that whole process worked. You know, the basics of things. We forget. We all about life. They kind of have to learn it on the fly. So now here he is, 34 years old, getting his business credit and establishing his LLC EIN. And when he said to me, shoot, an LLC, Jordans cost as much as getting an LLC. I'm going to get an LLC, then I can buy all the Jordans I want. I say that, you know. So
that's right.
Parents, you know, I can listen to him. I'm so proud. Every day, Mom, did you establish this credit with this company? Mom, did you do this, such and such? So he is managing me the way that I used to manage him.
And you taught him. That's growth, because you're saying, you know, and as a parent, that make you feel excited, because it's like, listen, nothing I did was in vain. Everything I did, you took it and you made it your own, and now you bad out here.
Yeah,
that's right.
And you're helping me to be better. You're helping me to be better. You are caring for me in the sense of making sure that I have what I need. And so that makes a mom proud. That makes your mom excited. You better go, boy.
It's true. Now, first of all, how do we pronounce your name? Because, you know, Lissha and I can mess a name up.
Lisa's my real name, so she's got a little H in her that makes it extra. That's my real name. So I see that. I kind of like, yeah, that's it's Naleighna, like Elaine, Naleighna Kai.
Now
Naleighna
you gotta
Kai.
let us know
Okay.
how you get that name. What brought on that for
It
you?
is a blend of East Indian and Senegalese.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it means the determined one is present.
Okay.
Oh.
You better come through, Strength.
Okay. Because
Yeah,
I've always been following you, because especially, you with Keisha Green, I believe, and I'm always sharing something of yours, but like Lissha, I say Kai as well, because I can't pronounce that first one. But I want to say, as far as your son, being a young Black man, they have so many strikes against them. So it's so refreshing to hear, the growth and the development and the maintenance of our young Black men, because they are our
Right.
future.
yeah,
So we need them. We need more of them. And it's so encouraging to hear you speak about your son.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
Listen,
that's
let me tell you, honey, you keep looking out for your mama, because y'all don't know. Your mama
Mhm.
will help you bury your body. Listen, she ain't even asking you no questions. She ain't asking you no questions. Okay, where we going? You
don't
gonna drive or am I driving? Let's go.
Let me
She,
get my shovel
let me get my shovel.
and my
yeah.
flashlight.
There's certain friends now I do that for too. Like you just show up at the door like, hey, I finally did it. I'm like, okay, what we gotta do? Where we going?
Right. Do I need gloves?
Yes,
No questions
indeed.
asked. No
Yeah,
questions asked.
Yes,
that's right.
indeed.
That's right. I love it. I love it. Now, here on Let's Chat, we always talk about a go moment. And you talked a little bit about it. And the go moment is when thought and execution really come together. A lot of times we're very mindful about how we speak to other people and how we pour into other people, and less mindful about how we speak and pour into ourselves. A lot of times we talk ourselves out of whatever has been placed into us to do. It's always a fire there, but we'll put that fire out with making excuses to ourselves on why we can't do something or why we can't do it right now. So, what was your go moment like when you said, I'm about to make this happen?
You know what? It wasn't necessarily about the books. It was more about the
Mhm.
reason why I wrote the books. And it was because
Mm.
of healing. It was because my sexual abuse counselor, after that meeting with dude, and we finally got the first book out,
Mhm.
Mhm.
it was my sexual abuse counselor that encouraged me to keep reading and writing. And
Mhm.
I got 6 books out of me, and I write longhand. I got 6 books out of me
Mm.
within a 2-year period.
Mm.
Wow.
2-year
That's
period.
a lot. Wow.
Oh, you was twerking that pen. And
Yeah.
let me tell y'all, her covers are really what drew me to her.
Really,
I
Mhm.
and guess who did the covers?
didn't. Who?
My son.
Really? Okay,
Really?
baby
My son
boy.
did the covers.
Listen,
My
I
son.
always see her on social media, and her
Mhm.
covers have always drawn me in. Every last one of them.
Me
Because
too.
we look bougie around these parts. We used to try and deny it. We used to try and deny that and be like, well, no, we're book bougie.
We embrace
We
it.
like,
We embrace it
we
now.
It's
embrace
okay
it.
to be a little bougie. It's okay to be a little bougie.
Yes, we like clean, crisp covers. And her covers are
Mhm.
so clean and crisp. And not even the
Mhm.
fact that they're clean and crisp, they're out of the box.
That's
Um,
so true, Leash.
they are
That's
out
so
of the
true.
box. Now,
Mhm.
tell us about the nights and what's going. Let me tell you, y'all haven't seen these covers. Y'all need to just look or see what's going on. Tell us, first of all, the 2 series. How did they come about?
Because I wanted to believe in love again. What had
Mm.
happened? What had happened was there was a lot of in the news feeds for a minute, and I'm sure you were aware that there were women who were they were going to the club. There was one woman. It was this one instance, but there were several like it, where
Mhm.
she was waiting on her girlfriend to come out of the bathroom, and this guy stepped to her, and he was trying to get with her. And she's like, I got a man, and he killed her.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Right. And there was women trying to leave relationships, and he'd kill her. or he burned her, or he murdered her, or he killed the kid. There was so much of it at one point. It was so much of it in the news feeds. My heart started breaking. And I wanted to believe in love again. So I put that challenge out there to some of my tribe members. I have a tribe, Naleighna Kai's tribe called Success. And I put that challenge out there. I want to write a book, and I want these men to have integrity. I want them to be the kind of men that they are all right with the woman being strong, and the woman doesn't have to dim her light in order for them to shine. I need men who can handle their business, but also handle their relationship with their women in such a way that it pulls them here. And the authors who signed on to do the project, they delivered. Every single one of them is their view of that kind of love. And we learned a lot about each other, as well as writing the process. Writing a series isn't easy. It took a lot out of me because people got happy. They were supposed to be finished in July, and it was supposed to be 30 to 35,000, with 30,000 words, supposed to be quick. They didn't come in on deadline. Only one person came in on deadline, and she was in chemo during that time and everything. She got her stuff in on time, as well as even through, she said writing keeps her sane. But everybody else, them jokers came in at 40, 45,000, 55,000 words. They got happy. But what that did was expand the process. That meant more editing, more rewrite, more beta reading, another edit. It created a longevity with the process and the learning curve for that. So some of them weren't even finished till almost flush with the deadline. And I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, trying to get people's stuff out. And it took a physical toll. And I knew it was a little much when I got to work one day and I was slurring my words. That's when I knew we can't do this again. And I was going to put the pen down for a year because it also took a personal toll in relationships. There was one person that was going through a lot during that time, and she kind of lashed out a little bit. And it was like, and I had to understand, and this is a tagline for me: my purpose is bigger than my pain, because it hurt because I didn't deserve it. But, and I still had to be there for her because that's my sister, you know, and I want for my sister what I want for myself. And I knew heart to heart that she didn't mean it. And she apologized publicly. She did. She said she was dead set wrong, but that didn't stop the hurt. But my thing is, I said, you know what? I'm stepping away from this. We weren't supposed to come out with the Knights until next year. And I'm telling you, after we put the last final on the last one in the series, King of Lawndale, I will tell you, after it was gone, we promoting it, everything about to start. I mean, dead set. It wasn't even 10 minutes after I said I wasn't writing for 6 months to a year. It came out like that. And it was like, I wrote that one in 5 days, and it had a stream of 4 other books within it. And I didn't know who the stream of books went to. And I realized it was family members. It was my daughter, my niece, my nephew, and my son. So they were now writing in this, a part of this process. And it was another learning experience. This time, I'm not afraid to ask for help. If there's an author that's struggling, I bring somebody in that's seasoned, that helped them through that process. If there's an author who disappears, we cut that part out, bring another person in. And I've had to experience that in such a way that it doesn't take a physical toll on me. So we're coasting right now. We just had a big upheaval like 2 days ago for a book that's supposed to be releasing in about 2 more weeks that I had to bring in. I had to bring in, and it was one of my family. It was my daughter. My daughter, I don't know if something came up in her writing process that she needed to back away. So when she comes back to it, it's mother-daughter stuff. It's not author anymore. It's just mother-daughter. And that's what it's just, I'm like, I have to understand. And that's when my son came up with that thing, Mom, just because a person can write doesn't mean that they should write.
My son is actually watching. He's actually watching. Yeah.
Where the people at? You can't see them. They can see you. You're on live. You're on a Facebook Live. So it's streamed simultaneously on our live and on our Instagram.
Oh.
So they can see, they can talk to you in the comments.
Right. He's in our comments.
Hi, JL. That's my baby boy. That's my baby.
Yes. Listen, before you pulled in, Mr. Woodson, we was big up in you for looking out for your mom. We love it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Kai, I wanna piggyback on something that Lissha said, as far as your books, your covers, because we do embrace our book bouginess. Now, you and I have never spoken. I've never really interacted, but your books talk to me. So I'm always sharing your stuff and I'm always loving your stuff. And that's the power between people that love literature. You and I have never, ever interacted before. Am I right? Before today. But your books are on my timeline or in my library. And they speak to me. So it's such a pleasure to actually meet you tonight. So I just want to say,
I don't even know if you all reached out to me or I reached out to you. However, I said this is such a chaotic time. We have 9 books.
I didn't know how much you do, but I saw your last cover with the king and Dubai.
Right. King of Arabia.
Yes, I said, you know what? I gotta have you on here because that cover is everything. Your son did that thing on that cover. He did that.
Yes, he did.
He is. He's an amazing, and he grew up in this. He started writing when he was 15. He was nominated for NAACP Image Award for Superwoman's Child, something he wrote before he was even, 21. Legal age, as they say. So he's been in this industry as long as I have been, and he struggled. See me go through the process, and for him to go to Columbia College to take up graphic design, and now. Oh, you all haven't seen some covers, baby.
We gotta have him on the show, Leash.
You all do. He's supposed to be on. We're trying to make sure he gets on. I think a couple of weeks from now. I just asked him to make sure to verify on his schedule because I threw this out at everybody and I said, you know what? There's no coincidences. What I did was I knew all of my people could deserve a chance, but I also didn't realize
31st.
Yeah, how much was going to be going on this time, with everybody's lives. Like Vikas Bhardwaj, he's the cover model that was supposed to be on there. It looks like he's going to be going back to India. So there's all of these things that happened. Like my niece had to go back to work. I ended up having to go back to work on this day. And I'm like, but it is what it is. So I'm like, I made it home. I left a little bit earlier, took a little less lunch. And I skirted my butt on out of there, and the traffic. And you should have seen me. I wasn't weaving like Speedy Gonzalez or the race car driver, but there were people who were ultra courteous for me to get off and make some way. So I had to plan. When I say I made it here at 5:28, I pulled in the driveway at 5:28. You should have seen me moving all 4 cheeks and a couple of chins up the stairs.
I love it. I love it. Now. When you sit down to write a book, is there anything particular that you need in your creative moment, in your creative flow? Is there something like you absolutely have during that time?
No, and here's why. Because every book has a different format. Everything has a different process. Like there's some books that I have. Was it good for you too? I recorded 50% of that. Because as we get older, we don't necessarily want to sit at the computer and to do it.
Right.
King of Arabia came out of passion it came out of purpose. Passion was different. I didn't want to write that book.
Really?
It came. When I say I was done writing for 6 months to a year, I was done. I needed to understand my plug. And let me tell you, that thing is 5 days. And my son would see me sitting on the couch and I had the tablet. And when I say it was coming faster than I could get the words out, and I write in video, whatever, but it was coming. The plot was perfectly laid out. Really, it was. And I was like, wow. Then talking to my niece and saying, you about to write a book. She had never aspired to write a book. And I'm saying one of the things in this book is hers. So it brought us closer together in the sense that she shared some things. I gave her an assignment of things I wanted to know or just what she could share. She thumbed out about 10,000 words within a 3-day period. And she was texting me constantly of stuff. And I had to cut and paste it and put it in Microsoft Word. But what it is she started sharing stuff she had never told me or her mother.
Wow.
So the healing process for her, and we helped to fashion that, and her and the tribe, we all work together to get a good product, because the reader doesn't care the process for getting it there. They care that it's a damn good product. But for me, I could be on the bus. I could be on, there was one book, what was I writing or editing? On the Starlight train trip from California to Seattle, that 35-hour train trip. Oh my God. Awesome. So I can be anywhere. So, but I do know if I'm writing by hand, it has to be yellow paper and blue ink. Other than that, I don't have to have a drink. It'd be nice though. I don't have to be quiet. Every Woman Needs a Wife was actually written in a nightclub in a hole in the wall. In Chicago. My brother was the DJ. He was my ride there and he was my ride home. 8 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning. Every Friday for 4 Fridays in a row, Every Woman Needs a Wife was written, and it flowed. And I was in life. I did have a drink then. I had a drink in front of me, and there was stepping music on. And if a man tapped me on the shoulder, they knew if he touched my shoulder and I was ready to dance, I would get up. If he touched my shoulder and I didn't move and I was still writing, you got to come back. So everybody understood that process, but I was in that blaring music. I can write in blaring music. I can write in quiet. I can write wherever the story tells me to write itself.
I love it. I love your passion. I love, here we love creativity here on Let's Chat, and we love to be able to experience the author's passion for what they do. Because a lot of times, and most of the time, people are not buying what you're writing. They're buying why you're writing it.
Okay.
Especially when they've never experienced you. They never experienced your pen. That becomes part of the packaging of the book. We have that eye candy of the book, but your personality is part of that eye candy. It makes them say, okay, let me go one click this. And then your content is what holds them, grabs them, and draws them in. Kind of like a promoter. You drop them off at Party Author. Now, when they get in there, they're like, oh, this party jumping.
Yeah.
Now they here. They like, listen, now they're going to get their friends. Listen, I went to this club author. Let me tell you, she got this book, and they get real excited when they start talking about it. Their eyes get big, and now they friend buying the book.
That's true. And then their friend buying the book.
Yes, indeed.
It develops legs. It develops legs. Now, Kai, I want to ask you, we've been working from home these last couple of months due to what's going on in our country. How have you used that time to better yourself, or to even find out things about yourself you didn't even know before?
During this world
stay at home.
Actually, what I found was I wanted to expand my tribe. So what I did was I started recording, first I gave some free writing lessons, advertised it all over. Then gave free editing lessons, classes, workshops. And then I gave a publishing and marketing, people had to pay for those. But the thing about it is I started building on the tribe that I already have. And plus I sent the tribe members who had already been with me, I sent them all back through the process, because different people came to me at different times. Some people came marketing, some people came editing, some people came consultant. But I sent everybody back to the beginning, so we were all on the same page. What it did, because I had been reluctant to do this whole live workshops and live, I didn't want to do those. But I'm finding now, it brought me more people, and it brought us closer together. But for me, the focus has been on expanding the tribe, expanding the writing, expanding what we're doing, getting us book deals, in addition to getting my financial health together. And that's where my son came in. So for me, on a personal level, what I should be working on, that treadmill back there, it should be a lot more often than it is. But the computer in this chair sees me a lot more than that treadmill does. But I need to rectify that. That's my next thing. Because I'm on the path with everything else, especially with the book King of Arabia releasing on Tuesday. And having to make the changes that I did, even bringing people in, co-authors, or some people had 2 books releasing and they have to, their personal project comes before the series project. So we have to do what we have to do to shore up everything. And now that I know that I don't have to do everything myself, I have built a team of people who can help me and that they can help each other. And that's what it is. They're team players. They love each other. When there was some things going on with people's lives, somebody's computer broke, everybody put in $25, $50, whatever, to get a new computer for that person. Or, when they were off work, there were some people who would slide me money to slide to them without telling them who it was. This is who I'm trying to build a family of writers, because sometimes this life can be very solitary. Our people are not alone. And that's what I want them to know. We can go together. And the best success that I have had independently has been because I had a tribe. That's wider exposure, wider visibility. They're growing, all growing at the same pace. So when we go up, we all go up.
That's right.
That's so true. That's so true. Lissha and I are a team, a tribe, and it's so important to have like-minded people in that team and in that tribe. And sometimes you want to make sure that everybody is pulling their weight, because teamwork is so important, and you want to be able to feel comfortable with everybody doing their part to make one team.
Absolutely. And it's not only just important because teamwork is important. And when you come together with people, you got those people that are like your biggest cheerleaders, and you got to have that. You got to have your biggest cheerleader on your team. And it helps you. It helps you. It helps to kind of like catapult you into what you're doing, because sometimes when you get to writing, you feel like, but when you have that one person that reads it, they're like, listen, let me tell you, you're not into this? What you did over here like this? And their excitement makes you excited.
It does.
Right.
It does.
It does.
Okay, now I see where you have it on Facebook. They just put it in the cafe. You just came up, because I'm like, you saying my son is there? All these people are there. I'm like, where?
So it comes up live. So it'll come up on a live feed on our Let's Chat page and our Let's Chat YouTube page.
Okay, okay, because I'm looking for it. I'm like, I put it out there so people could see, that it was going on, because So I appreciate this opportunity.
They're here in the comments, like you can see them in the comments. We're gonna shout out Anita. Anita's here.
Hold on, I think I'm seeing you here. There's 12 comments. Okay, there's 12 comments. Oh, there we go. Hey, ladies. Hey, Anita. I see it. I'm like, well, how did you know my son was there? I'm like, wait a minute, I don't see this, because I'm looking straight at the screen. I love you, Stacy. I don't see my son on this one, so he must be somewhere else. So
no, he's on here. We got to scroll.
He's on the Woodson Creative Studio.
Okay, I only see Anita and Stacy, so I must be looking in the wrong spot. It's okay. I see 12 comments. I don't see the people, but it's okay. I know you say he's here, then he's here. So hey,
he is here supporting his mom. Absolutely. Now, what's next? What's next for you? What's next for your vision?
My next vision is for the people in the tribe to get book deals with a major house. Right now, you know how that story in the Bible of the bridegroom coming? The foolish virgins, or 5 foolish and 5 wise, or however. And right now we're putting the oil in the lamp. We're getting our backlist together. We're getting our brands together. Make sure we have the right presence on social media, so that we can see about getting deals with a traditional publisher that will also enhance what we have in our backlist. Because all it takes is one book to shoot off somewhere else, and the readers will come for everything else.
Absolutely.
I'm looking, but also too, after the night, the queens are coming.
Oh shoot!
And my son just showed me the background for that. We just pulled the background, baby. I didn't think it was better than the queens and the nights, but we just chose the background like maybe 2 days ago, and it was like, oh, yeah. It's and that's about the divine feminine. So it's in Africa. It is in South America. There's different islands. The women are from different places, but we talk about the divine feminine. It's like, whoo, yes.
I seeing your
You can
passion
see her
behind what it is.
excitement. You know it's good. Look at her face.
I love it.
So good.
Look, you have to see some of these covers. Let me show you something let me pull up something really quick that you can see let me share the screen with you on just how awesome my son is when it comes to these covers.
You got me excited, Lissha.
Listen, her son ain't no joke.
Let me pull this up. And you'll get in the first sneak peek outside of the tribe. So how can I can share the screen? Share the screen is easiest on 2 monitors. Well, I've got a big one. Okay, so here we go. And I've got to open the preferences in order to do whatever for you guys to be able to share it. Hold on for a second. My son taught me how to do this. What is Ring Central? Is this under Ring Central or something else? StreamYard. Okay, so let me do that. You all get a sneak peek of what he got.
Oh, we love sneak peeks.
Yeah. So it's saying to allow Zoom, Ring Central, or Team Viewer. It's not showing you guys.
Okay, so what you can do is you can send it to me and I can do it.
Okay. So
I can share my screen. You can put it in the inbox. And then I can do it.
Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen. Follow these steps. Well, let me do this. I will put it in let me find you in my girl. These covers are boss. They are boss. And we're doing some group projects. Right now, my focus is tribe. You know, all of what I've got going on is tied up in them. And it's a good thing because the thing is we all grow together and we're learning new genres together. I'm sending you these. And then I'm gonna send you a couple that just made my eyes just like Mr. Woodson is at the top of his game for real.
Oh,
he is.
I love hearing that.
Did you get him?
Yeah,
it's in your messenger.
I got him. Ooh,
yeah.
Okay, I want to see. I'm
working on it now.
I want to see.
Ooh.
Kai, while she's working on that, Kai, I want to ask you, because we're looking at the passion behind what it is that you do. What brings you the most joy of putting new material out for your readers? What is the favorite part that you love the most?
When it's something that I personally share that resonates them, gives them an answer. The one of the best ones that it came from Fascia Hammock, and it was in Was It Good For You Too? And there was a question that I asked. It was, where was God when all of these horrible things happened to me? And the answer that I wove into the fabric of the book was something that she said, I've been looking for that answer all my life. My pastor couldn't give it to me. People in my spiritual circle couldn't give it to me. But it was 3:00 in the morning. The kids were in bed. I'm reading your book. And the answer comes in that book. That's what I'm looking for.
Wow.
And there's a lot of it in King of Arabia. There's a lot more. I've been trying to work a particular part of my life into books, and it failed in 3 different books that it didn't fit. The editor said, don't fit. So it had to go out. It was waiting for this book. It was waiting.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah. And if you had told me I was going to have books coming out this year, this series coming out this year, if you had told me this time last year, I would have called you crazy. And your sister, I would have called her Betty too. That wasn't going. So show those covers, man. Show those covers.
I'm bringing them up.
Yeah.
It's this
one.
You see them?
That's powerful.
I'm bringing them up.
Yeah. My son he is so amazing. He is just. And it was funny. We were on a call last night between him and a client, and my distributor said, there's an Apple rep that particularly keeps choosing our work to be featured in things because of his covers. She said she loves our covers.
Yes. His covers are no joke. No joke. Yeah. I'm about to bring them up now.
That's awesome. That's like one less thing you got to worry about when you're putting the book out is that cover.
Yeah. It is. It's good stuff. he's able to talk now. He does Zoom meetings with each me and the client to make sure we capture the vision correctly. And we've been going. I'm enjoying that. That immensely.
But you know something, Kai, that cover is the segue into a person buying a book.
Yeah.
You know, that cover has to speak to them. And if there's been plenty of books that I went right across because the cover didn't do anything for me. You know, that cover, that synopsis, the colors on the page, on the cover, all of that makes for me to take pause and see what this book is about.
That's right.
Indeed.
I'm almost done, y'all.
Okay. So you were sharing what's next for you, Kai. When this book comes out, you know, you got to come back. You know, you're family now. You're always welcome, even if you want to just shoot the breeze.
That's good.
Shoot the breeze. We can make it happen. You know, so what is the next best thing, big thing for you?
It is the series. I try to keep my focus. I don't split my focus. It is basically, it is this series right now.
Get this out.
The entire life is going to be surrounded by the release and the marketing and promotion for this series. And that's a key point, because when I do too many things, some things don't get done well. And that is this series.
Too many things in a pot.
It deserves my undivided attention. It really does, and it will get it, because I'm telling you, this. Oh my God!
I can see you're excited. You're so excited about it.
I am.
And that makes us excited.
I am. It is an amazing thing. The process of getting it done, all of that factored into making it what it was, and that's a key point. So, yep.
I'm trying to put some of the be able to open some of the other ones we have in here so people can see. He bad, y'all. He bad. He is bad.
Yeah.
So, Kai, for those that may not have picked up one of your books, can you describe your pen to them so they can know what to expect when they pick up a Kai book?
My pen is always unique and different. At first, I started with trios, unique relationships involving 3 people. And then eventually it went into more of a romantic feel with a one-on-one. But they're going to expect my voice. What you see here today is what you see on the pages. My characters are a little sassy, a little bougie, got a little hood, just a little ghetto in them, just a little bit. They'll slip back into that of I'll cut you. They will. They're like me, but they are dealing with whatever issue that I want to work out within the pages. So I will bring a mate or family member, or however, to help work out that process. So they will get a little pain. They will get a lot of love, but they will get a lot of healing and get a lot of growth, because that's what I put my characters through.
Right. Now, if there was one book you would want them to start off with, is there one book in particular, or just pick up any Kai book?
You can pick up any Kai book, but it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for that interesting trio, go with Open Door Marriage. If you're looking for the kind of love with the interracial,
you ain't gonna just go by there like you didn't say what you just said. Tell us about Open Door Marriage. What you got going on over there? You famous? Look at you.
Well, see, what had happened was, Open Door Marriage is the story of a man who falls in love with an older woman. He's an NBA basketball star. He falls in love with an older woman, and just at the point he asks her to marry him, she disappears. And then she reappears in his life 3 years later, just at the point he's about to marry her niece.
Oh,
her niece.
Her niece doesn't want to lose that baller money. So she puts an offer on the table, thinks that he can't refuse.
Right. What? You know what?
Oh, okay.
Your creativity, let me tell you.
Okay, and what was going to be the next book that you was going to say?
I would say King of Arabia. I put my heart in that. I put a lot more out, but I'm trying to keep it PG.
We can see that. We can see that.
Like this right here. I would say King of Arabia. My fight with my faith, my struggle with faith is all up in here, especially when she's being asked to convert to something. How can I convert to something that is supposed to be better, that is supposed to be better than what you're saying it is? But both of y'all, Christianity and Islam, hasn't treated people of color or women too well. So yeah,
that's right.
Okay.
Girl, you ain't got those comments yet.
I'm almost done. I got one more. I'm trying to put them so you can see them all at one time.
Oh, I'm like, you putting in all that work? All you can do is open them and just flip them. It's okay. But I'm excited about those. I really am. I'm excited.
Well, I'm excited to see Lissha.
Yeah.
He is bad. Let me tell y'all. Like he is bad. I can't wait to get him on here.
Yeah,
he bad with it.
His vision and how he brings an author's vision to life is just it's amazing. It's an amazing thing. It really is.
Now, I'm always interested to hear and to know who authors read. Is there a favorite author that you enjoy reading, Ty?
I love Octavia Butler.
Oh.
Octavia Butler, L.A. Banks. I love Brenda Jackson, Beverly Jenkins. I love Tananarive, Stephen Barnes. So I'm on that spectrum of reading. I like uniqueness. I like creativity, and I like longevity. I mean, Brenda Jackson has had a career spans from here to here.
Oh, yes.
But I love my new authors. The authors that are in the tribe. There's some authors in the tribe. Shakira Sean. Read his work.
Yeah, we've had him on before. We love his work.
Yep. Stephanie Freeman. She's new to our palette. Her writing is delicious. She's going to be, I think she's set to be on your show as well. Stephanie M. Freeman. I'm not sure, but you have to let her read. You have to let her read. Introduce you to Georgia and to introduce you to the little excerpt that she does from Season of the Blood. Ooh, baby, you talk about
really? Okay, we're gonna have to remember that, Lissha.
Yes. When I say good stuff, it's good stuff. Show enough. Really? There's people who have a delicious way with words. She's one of those people. Yes. She's a wordsmith. So there's that. J.D. Mason is one of my favorites too. On the 8th day she rested. And then her new one, Without a Song to Sing. So there's all of these authors that have this wonderful talent that has been around forever. There we go. Oh.
Oh. Look at that.
Y'all see that?
All right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And that
just speaks to you.
They all
speak to you.
That's the best part about a good cover. A good cover has to speak to you. It has to talk to you. It's got to breathe whatever it is. If it's seductiveness, it has to breathe seductiveness, and it doesn't have to be too much. They don't have to be all naked. Look at that. Sometimes it's just the words, just the way the words are popping off with the light background
and the colors.
Absolutely. You can see the shoe. The shoe is speaking before anything else.
Exactly. She don't have any clothes off.
It could be a shoulder. It could just be a little shoulder showing. But it's so much. And it speaks. These are awesome. Your son did an awesome job.
Wow.
Yes.
That is hot. And look at the Season of the Blood. Look at that cover.
That's all of them. Have her to read from. I want you all to have her to read from that. For real.
From the Season of the Blood? Really?
Season of Blood. It is, oh my God. When I say awesome, Awesome. Yes.
Love it.
Those
I
are
love it. I
nice.
love it. He did a job. Listen,
Yes, he did.
you did that. You did that. Yes, I love it. I
Yes,
love it. He
you
did.
did.
So,
Wow.
Kai, here in the chat room, we like to do something fun. We like just to be allowed to allow people to experience our guests on our show. Tony's going to give you a fun question. We normally do a riddle, but this is your first time, so we're going to do something a little easy for you.
Uh-oh. Sound like I'm in trouble.
No.
I don't come up with that. I don't come up with the questions, so I don't know what she's going to ask you.
Well, my son did this on his Creative Juices podcast. He asked me a one gotta go question, and he put 4 Michael Jackson songs up there. Nope, I'm not gonna do it. Can't do it.
No, Kai. No, it's gonna be easy. Very simple. Okay. Next time, though, I got you, girl.
Okay.
But first of all, thank you so much for joining Lissha and I. We really appreciate you spending some time with us. And we know you were like time pressed to get on here.
Yeah, but I was gonna make it. Y'all had to talk till I got here. Y'all would have been laughing. Y'all would have been laughing. But I'm on the phone. I'm making it. She said, turn the alarm back on. I said, I'll get to the alarm later. Let's go.
No problem. We made it work, girl. We made it work. Mm-hmm. But you remember those big boxes of crayons we used to get? Had like 64 or 128. Mm-hmm. Okay, you are one of those colors in that box, and you can either make up one or combine. Tell us what color you would be and why.
You know what? The funny thing is, as soon as you started talking, and I would have picked red, but peach came to mind.
Okay.
Really?
Something about peach that it's a mid-range. It's not too dark. It's not too light. It's in the middle. Mm-hmm. But it also, if you look at it's not so much the color, but also what it represents when you think of a peach. If you look at it in some ways, it can be very sensual. Depending on how you edit the camera, but it also can be very tasty, and it can also bring up something southern to mind, like peach cobbler, or
refreshing.
Peach iced tea, which I make a kick-ass peach cobbler about it very much.
Okay, now you gotta have to share that recipe now.
Oh yeah, absolutely we can. We have a cookbook. The tribe has done 3 cookbooks. The last one is for a king. I'll send you guys the link to share with the people on your show. We've done 3 cookbooks. And we've got another one coming out later this year. It's only for one night.
Is the peach cobbler in there? Okay.
I love to cook, girl. I love to cook.
Indeed. So it will be peach. Peach is interesting.
I like that. Yeah. I like the reasoning behind it as well. I love hearing how people come up with their colors and their reasons why. So thank you for sharing that.
No
problem. We appreciate you. We appreciate everything you bring to the industry. We appreciate your hard work, your passion, and your vision that you have. We know that it's bigger than what you even see right now. It's bigger than what you even hear right now, and we're very proud of you. You are welcome. Your tribe is always welcome. We've had a lot of them on the show before, but they know they're always welcome back too. So if you got something on your mind, say, I just want to have a little moment. We can make that happen. Just let us know.
Yes, indeed. I'm trying to get Janine up as well. I'm trying to make sure she's coming in next, so that she's right behind me.
Yep, she's here. I see her.
You see her? But I'm here. So you can pull her in. Okay. I was just saying, because she's like, is this tomorrow? I'm like, no. Because she came in the last minute for my niece who's been pulled into the surgery room. So, but Janine is a powerhouse. Oh my God. Janine is a powerhouse. She is Born to Be Rich, her book, and then she just did one on that's coming out in a couple of months. The Power of Prayer. It's about the power of prayer.
Right.
She'll tell you the title of it. But all of my people, all of my tribe, every last single one of them is a powerhouse unto themselves, from the newbies all the way down to the seasoned authors. They are in the tribe for a reason, and they're bringing. They don't come to play. I don't come to play, and they ain't playing.
Awesome. I love it.
I love it. We so appreciate you coming to kick it with us today in the chat room. We want you to shout out all of your social media where everybody can get you. If you have any interviews that are coming out, make sure you shout those out as well.
Okay. Well, actually, I'm on Instagram as Naleighna at Naleighna Kai. It's spelled right here under my face. Not what's scrolling across the screen. Y'all put an extra G up in that camp, but it's
I did.
Yeah. I'm like, who is that? But anyway, also my Facebook fan page. I'm on Twitter. You'll catch me more on Facebook. We have a group called Naleighna Kai's Literary Cafe. You can also catch me on my app. The Tribe has an app, the Literary Cafe. It's now on Google. For Android. It just told us today it's on Android and it's on iOS. It came out on for the Apple Store in the App Store before. It's been there for like a month. We were just waiting for Google to kick in. It kicked in today. I got the message on the way home. I was like, yes, we cooking with gas now. So the Literary Cafe app. As well as you'll catch me on Instagram. You know, I've just really within the last year or so done the Instagram thing because, you know, I'm like, I got a life. I got to, you know, get some writing on all these different platforms. Now we got to be TikTok. Next is going to be Spitspot, whatever. I'm like, come on, I gotta write all this stuff. You know, but I'm everywhere.
I feel you, girl.
I know, NaleighnaKai.com or everywomanneedsawife.com. It'll take you there. If you can't remember my name, how to spell it, everywomanneedsawife.com is the one-stop shop, and you can find me everywhere else.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. We appreciate you, and we will see you soon.
Yes, indeed. Thanks again.
You're welcome. Have a good weekend.
You too. You too.
Okay. That was awesome, Lissha.
That was awesome. I love her energy. I do. She has great energy. Great energy. We want to shout out everybody: Niecy Jones, Zachariah, Miss Ingrid Brown, Royal Shepherd, DJ McLaren. Shout out to y'all. We appreciate y'all kicking in with us. We have our next fabulous guest coming to kick it with us in the chat room. Miss Janine, how are you?
I'm super excited. Well, I thought it was tomorrow, so you know, look at my hair. I'm over my girlfriend's house with my hat. I took my hat off though. How you all doing?
Well,
y'all look
so good.
We are good.
Y'all look so pretty.
Thank you. I want you to do one thing.
Y'all look beautiful.
I want you to wipe my camera. I want you to wipe your camera just a little bit.
Check your email.
There you go. Did we lose the link?
Oh, okay.
No,
It's that pretty face.
Yes. Ooh, look at her.
Ooh, look at my head. Okay, y'all.
Hey,
y'all. Y'all
trying to give up some sexy life up in here. You better do that.
You just too nice, girl. You too nice. Say that to me again.
Oh, love it. Now, will you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your literary journey?
Oh my God, my name is Janine Ingram, and my literary journey is interesting. You know, I have to give all shout outs to Naleighna Kai. I would not have or been on this journey. Well, first to the Most High, because you know we don't meet people by chance. It's all by divine order. And she came into my life and said, "You need a book." She said, "You need a book." I'm like, "I need a book." And you know, I thought it was gonna be this easy journey, but that first book was like birthing a baby. Oh my God! But
really,
it was so cathartic. It was, yes, because you know what? I didn't realize that writing was such a healing journey, and I was able to get stuff out and remember stuff that I had suppressed, and I was able to bring out information that had been suppressed inside of me that needed to be healed, that needed to come to the forefront, and I needed to do forgiveness work on. So that book was probably more for me than it was for anybody else.
That's real.
And that was my journey, yes. But I was not going to give up. I was like, and I'm persevering through this stuff, and there will be a book.
But you know something, Janine?
That was
are you going through that process? Someone that read that book needed to hear those words as well. You know, so the way it touched you, I'm sure it touched
Yes.
some of your readers that way as well.
Absolutely. And it's important to know the intent behind your pen. What is that
Mhm.
like? Where does your creativity flow from when you're putting your work down? When you're I say twerking that pen. Oh, did she freeze on us?
Yeah.
Janine,
May have to call it. May
Janine, we
have to
want you
call
to
in.
go out and come back in. Nope, you froze on us. Go out and come back in. Ah, man, it's about to get good. Oh, there she
Oh,
go.
Oh, there you go.
Nope, she froze on us again. Go out and come back in, Janine.
Did you hear us? Because she was about to give some, drop some jewels on us.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely,
that might not
absolutely,
come back there. But you know
absolutely. She,
something, Leash? That's usually the case when an author pens certain feelings and emotions. It's more
mm-hmm,
than others that are going through the same thing. And like we say here, who's listening, a word had to be said and shared. So
that's right. And
there
you
she
never
go.
know who's watching. You never know who's watching. People are watching
Mhm.
you all the time. You just never know what your words bring to them, what it brings out of them.
Right.
mm-hmm.
Mhm. Exactly.
Yes. Can you
Now,
hear
Okay.
me?
yes, ma'am, we can hear you
Yes.
now. Now, hey, now,
I'm
Janine,
back.
we always talk about a go moment. What was your go
Mhm.
moment when you decided to make that move? Because most of the time, we always talk ourselves out of things that have been placed in our spirit to birth out. We always end up talking ourselves out of it. I can't do it right now, but normally it's come up 3 or 4 times before we actually make it happen. What was your go moment like when you decided to say, I'm about to make this happen?
Well, when Lisa called me and said you really need a book, and I decided to start to work on it. What I realized,
Uh oh.
what I did
We lost again.
Yeah. Let's see.
was 15% interest. You know, I
And
got
we
money and I
refreshed
only
it.
got 15% interest.
Say
Can
it
you hear
again.
us, Janine?
I can't. Can
Oh,
you hear
are you
me?
a little bit? You're freezing a little bit. Are you connected? Are you connected to Wi-Fi? I don't think she
Let me.
can. Okay, y'all. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna
Questions.
take a brief break, and we're gonna
Okay.
have Janine go out. We want you to go all the way out, Janine. Hit the link and come back in.
Okay. You want me to go
Okay,
out
do
too,
I turn
Leash?
my Wi-Fi off?
Nope. Keep your Wi-Fi on.
You want
Oh,
me to go
okay.
out
I
too,
just
Leash?
cut it off.
Okay. So I want you to log out. Come out of the broadcast, and then
Okay.
I want you to come back in it.
Okay. Me too, Leash?
No. I'm just gonna
Okay.
we're gonna keep going. She'll be back in a minute, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Weather, everything always plays a part, especially when you're dealing with Wi-Fi. So we thank y'all for y'all patience. We appreciate y'all.
Mhm.
Just to be able to experience an author, to experience the love for what they do, is the best part about what we do. Toni and I
Mhm.
started doing this thing 6, 7 years ago. And we
Mhm.
appreciate all the love and support that we have gotten from everybody. And we do it because a lot of times when people don't have word of mouth and they needed to move around, their
Mhm.
personality is what draws people in. And so we love to
Right.
be able to present that personality to show so that people can see it, that people can hear it. And that draws people into
Mhm.
these authors. I think we had Ingrid Brown on. And remember the guy that came on our show, or he had emailed us like a whole 6 months later. He was like, I was listening to your show. You had Ingrid Brown on there, and I was like, what? So you just never know what it is. You never know. Shout
That's
out to my
true.
cousin. I love you, Ingrid. Okay, we got Janine back. All right, Janine, we got you back up in here.
Yes, yes, I love it. I don't know what's going on with the technology, but I love you all's energy. I just want to say you all look so good. It's so pretty, and your smiles, everything is wonderful.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Now, tell us about what you feel that your pen is bringing to the industry that it lacks.
So for me, my books, I think that we learn, for me, I think we go to church, I think we read Bibles, but we don't know how to live God every day. And I think what my
That's
pen
right.
does is teach you how to live God every minute, every second, every day. We hear about forgiveness, but do we really know what that means and where forgiveness starts? Do we hear about our
Mm-hmm.
love, but do we really understand what even love is? And so I believe that what my ministry and my life is an example of what it means to be forgiveness, what it means to be love, because you have to be those
Mm-hmm.
things. And so what I teach in my books is how to experience God. We think about God, but do we really experience God in our everyday life? And then
Right.
I take it
Right.
one next step. What does it even mean to be God?
Mm.
What does that
Okay,
mean?
you
It
better
says
preach, girl.
G-I-S, but what does
You
that mean?
better talk about it. Get the people together. Get them
Right.
together,
Mm-hmm.
Janine.
And so my grandmother used to tell us that everybody can talk a good talk, but can you really walk the walk? And that means, can you really demonstrate the life that we should on this planet? It tells us in the word that we should live an abundant life, but are we really living?
Right.
Because we so used to struggle. So our story and our narratives, and my grandmother used to say, the story you tell is the story you live. So if you're telling that negative struggle story, you're going to live it. So
That's
it's
right.
important.
Mm-hmm.
So my books talk about the importance of the mind, heart, and word connection. See, the
Mm-hmm.
thoughts is where we plant the seed. Our words
Right.
water it, and our heart manifests it. Because once it's in the heart, it's manifested because you're being it now. You're being the money. You're being prosperity. You're being the love. Everything comes from the inside out.
That's right.
So it's an
Mm-hmm.
inside job. My grandma used to tell us all the
Mm-hmm.
time. I remember my cousin used to come home and she was always upset because her man this. And grandma used to just set us all down one day. She said, people don't treat you the way you treat them. They treat you the way you treat yourself.
You
And
better
that
say
That's
used to
true.
that, girl.
let me tell you, that was like the farthest thing. What do you mean by that? But as I got older, I understood that I teach people how to treat me. So
That's
they call
right.
me Lady
Right.
Love, the love God, because I teach people love. I teach people how to live that love. And I think that's why my
Mm-hmm.
books are important. My pen is important. My platform is important because everybody
Right.
talk it, but are we really living it? And it's a different kind of walk when you live in the experience of those things that you teach.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And
And
That's
so,
Ayana
right.
said, she said, you got to learn what you teach. You got to learn what you teach. So
that's
that means you
right.
got to live through these
Mm-hmm.
experiences to really be able to touch the heart of people, because heart reaches the heart. You remember in the streets, they used to say, gang
Right.
recognize gang, truth
Right.
recognize truth.
Mm-hmm.
Truth recognize truth.
That's
Heart
right.
recognize the heart. So those are the things that I think that's really important in my platform is the authenticity, the love, and the importance of living those things. We can all talk it, but
Mm-hmm.
can we really walk that walk? And let me tell you, before I
Mm-hmm.
could walk that walk, it was tough.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Now, I want you to just tell us a little bit about the characters and your creative process for your characters. Where does that generate from?
Well, I would say from my heart and from my inner spirit. What I do is I stop before I write any book and I go inside and I allow the presence to move through me first to understand what do I want to convey in this book, and then I let that book take its own life and I get out my own way and just let it flow through me. I remember when Michael Jackson said he didn't write none of his books, he didn't write any of his songs. He said he just would wake up in the middle of the night and the pen would just take on its own life. And that's what happened in your books. Your characters
Mm-hmm.
take on life. Your story take its own life. It just, before you know it, you'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
wow. And you step back like, did
Mm-hmm.
I write that? And you be like, that's some good stuff. Let me tell you, it's been funny. I read something. I'm like, did I write that? That's some
Yes,
profound. That's some good
it's
stuff.
a vibe. When you start vibe, it's different when you vibe with other people. But when you vibe with yourself, it's a whole new
Come
because
on now. You feeling me?
you experience yourself going into a whole different level. And that
Mm-hmm.
experience
Right.
is where you know that's where you're experiencing God at. When you know, when you feel it, when I feel myself and I know I'm just know it. You know what I'm saying? You can stay all
Mm-hmm.
day. I'm dope in real life. I know I am. But once I feel that level up, where I know that I don't know where it came from, it was just like boom, boom, boom. Things start happening. And when you're writing
Mm-hmm.
and the words start flowing, it's the same process. It's like boom, boom, boom. Before you know it, you've been writing for 5 hours. You like, wait a minute, you know, and it just comes out and it pours out and it doesn't stop. And it's hard for you to stop. It's kind of like you ever have those nights where you sleep and you can't get up and you can't open your eyes and it feel like somebody holding you down. When you're writing and it's flowing, it's kind of like that. You can't stop. It's
Yep.
like something that's holding you there to that particular project to get it out. And nothing else really matters at that time. You can't do nothing else. So
So
Wow.
true.
It made me think about the sculptor Leonardo da Vinci, and he said one time they asked him, "How did you know that what the marble want to be?" He said, "Because the marble already knows what it came to be on the planet. He just be used to carve it out." And I was like,
that's why
"Wow, that was interesting. That's an interesting thought." And it's interesting because um, George Washington Carver was asked, "How is it that you know what these plants want to do?" And he said, "When you love something enough, it will reveal its secrets to you."
so, that's right.
And
Mm.
you know what? I said, well, if I could love myself enough, then I could find out the secrets of how and what I came to the planet to be. So that was my journey. What could I do to learn and love me enough to reveal my purpose, my gift, my talents, and what God put me on this planet to be? And that was my journey. That was the beginning journey of
Mm-hmm.
my shift, my change, and my up level. Because when you start learning to
Mm-hmm.
really understand what your gifts, your purpose, and why you claim, it changes the climate and culture of how you even maneuver and navigate in life.
Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. And
That's so true.
the seed itself already has a purpose. It just needs to be watered. It's already going to be what it's going to be. It's not going to be
Exactly.
anything else. It's already set and written what that seed is going to be. But
Man.
That's so
you
true.
have to cultivate it.
That's true. Because
Mm-hmm.
even every cell in your body, let me tell you this real quick. I know this a little bit off topic, but I just want to let you, I was watching 60 Minutes. So I'm a nerd. I read everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were talking about stem cell research. And they had this scientist on there showing how he had recreated fingers and esophagus,
Oh
arms,
wow!
and all kinds of stuff.
Oh
And
boy.
the arm at the time of the Aaron was one almost at the 100%. The guy didn't even have to have because he had cancer of the esophagus. He didn't even have to have a track because it rebuilt the whole esophagus, the finger, the arm. And let me tell you, so this was the caveat though. The journalist said, "Well, how does a cell know that it's a finger, an esophagus, a leg, or whatever?" He said, "Because the
Right?
intelligence, every cell has its own intelligence." Can you imagine that every cell in our body has its
That's
Wow.
own
no
intelligence?
mentality.
It
That's
got
right.
its own brain. Did you know that? We think that our only thing that has the brain is here, but the brain is in every cell. I was like,
That's
that was
right.
such an aha moment for me. That means I could
It
speak to
is.
my cells. I could tell my cells what I need my cells to do in order to live my life at the highest vibration on earth. I was like, this is powerful.
Absolutely. That's why I
It
always say
is.
it's very important for you to tell people what it is. You don't let them tell you what it is. You tell them what it is. I think that in society we have gotten so used to going to the doctor and the doctor telling us what it is. You go here and they tell you what it is, but we never go in and walk in our strength and purpose and say, no, this is what it is.
Right. I
Mm-hmm.
love that. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's why we have to learn how to speak to ourselves even before we go to the doctor. No matter what it is, we can speak to every cell in our body. And I remember seeing this Facebook post that you should love yourself so much that every cell in your body is reeking that love, that it shifts the atmosphere when you walk in the room. I'm
Absolutely.
like,
Wow.
come on now.
If you had to give yourself your own personal mission statement, what would it be?
If I had to give myself my own personal mission statement, my own person, let me tell you, it's the affirmation that Albert Einstein used to tell himself every morning. And you know what that is? I
What's that?
only think the thoughts of God.
Mm,
I only
okay.
think the thoughts of God. And so what I say in the morning, I took it a little bit further. I said, I only think the thoughts of God. I only see with the eyes of God. I only speak with the words of God. And I only feel in my heart with the heart of God. That is my
Absolutely.
personal mission statement every morning, that I see, feel, and act
Wow.
in the, in attunement and alignment with the presence of God every day, every minute, every second.
I love it.
Hmm.
I love
Wow,
it.
that's awesome. I want to ask you, Janine, is there a message that you want your readers to take away from your book when you write a book? What message would you want them to take away?
Depending on which book, but there's three things that I always think that's the most important thing in the world. That's the keys to the universe, and that's forgiveness, love, and
Hmm.
gratitude. So I always want to remind people that life is too short to hold grudges, and
That's
Okay.
right.
forgiveness will open up the doors to your money, to your friendships, to your. You want a man? You want a wife? Forgive. You want some more money? Forgive. And I can tell you so
Hmm.
many times when I did my forgiveness work, how my prosperity just opened up and money just flowed into my life.
That's right.
Really?
How relationships shifted. Yes. I can just tell you that. And then love is a game changer. The reason why I teach love and speak love and live love, because it's the game changer. It's the highest energetic expression on the planet. And when you actually
Hmm.
learn to love the actual presence, the gift that you are to the planet, and recognize that you are God's gift to this planet, and that when God created you, God placed every thing inside of you to go forth and live in the light and have fun with it and have abundance with it and have enjoyment with it. When we get to learn that, oh my God, it's such a game changer.
It is.
People are going to be
And
just attracted to you because of your light. Go ahead.
that's so true. And you speak about forgiveness, and I think more so that we talk here on Let's Chat. Forgiveness is for yourself. In order for you
That's
to
right.
continue. That forgiveness is more so for you than the person that you're forgiving.
Yeah.
It is. And let me tell you, people forget it starts in the mind,
Oh.
but it starts in the heart.
Yeah.
It's a heart movement, because the heart is the conduit to everything that comes to our heart. And so it's where we manifest. It's 5,000 times more magnetic than the brain, because it's vibratory energy that comes from our. So
Oh.
when we use our heart to really think about forgiving somebody. Let me tell you, when I had to learn to forgive my mother, I would never forget. I was going through a lot of changes. And you were reading in my book, I was losing everything. My daughter was in the hospital. And I sat in the middle of that bed and I said, how come I'm going through this, Holy Spirit? And the book flew open literally to forgiveness. I was like, I don't have to no forgiveness. I pay my tithes. I go to church. God, why would I need to forgive somebody? I love everybody. And I just said, well, I'm going to do this work. It was Ayana Benzat. It was the book that comes from A Course in Miracle. And it tells you to write these lines 35 in the morning, 35 in the evening. Can I just tell you, when I sat there and meditated and asked God why I had to forgive, I didn't realize that I was sitting there holding on to stuff that I didn't even realize that was subconsciously in my embedded in to my subconscious. Grew up in foster care, and I was waiting one day when I was 7 years old in a mirror, waiting in the window for my mom to come to bring me a birthday gift and say happy birthday to me, but she never came.
Oh
And
wow.
so when I sleep, I remember saying to myself, I'm not important to nobody. Don't nobody love me, and don't
Mm.
nobody care about me. I cried myself to sleep. And when I went to sleep, when I was sitting in the middle of the bed, it was like something opened up, like a portal, and I could see myself crying. I could feel my heart. It was like I was observing it, and I could hear my grandmother's words at the same time. The story you live is the story you tell. The story you tell is the story you live. And I told that story, and better believe I was living it. I was living it that nobody cared about me. Nobody don't love me. I was living that story. And I had to that story because I had to forgive the little girl who was
Wow.
hurt from all the stuff that she had went through, being molested in the foster care, being beaten, and all the stuff I went through. I had to let go of that stuff because that stuff that wasn't helping for my highest good anymore. And I needed to let that go. So the
That's
universe and everything showed up in my life at that time. That pain that was propelling me to purpose was showing up for me to move in to letting it go. So now I look at pain as paying attention inward now. That means I got to let that go. But I got to first look that pain in the eye and ask is why is it here? So that I can learn my lesson and let it go and release. That's what we don't get.
That's
That
right.
understanding. We think, oh, just forgive. No, forgiveness is hard work. That means you got to get in your heart and let it go. And
That's
it's not
right.
just, okay, I could talk to you and I could say hi to you, but it's really letting go the the energy behind what you felt. Not just because
It's
I
an
can say hi
instant.
to you again, I can accept you in my space, but the residue that's left in my body from whatever experience I had from that
Right.
situation.
That's right.
Right. It's an internal battle, literally. It really is. It's an internal
It
battle.
really is.
Mm-hmm.
But once you really do the work, it's no longer a battle though. It really isn't a battle
Absolutely.
anymore.
True.
Once I
Absolutely.
did the
Mm-hmm.
work. Now it may be things because it's layers, and I'm not gonna tell you, Journey, that this forgiveness is a destiny. It's definitely a journey, but then you get other stuff that you may have to work on, but not that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Janine, we so appreciate you coming and kicking with us in the chat room. Let me tell you, you are just like a refreshing breath. I
Yes.
appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you bring, just your energy, because you are talking that talk and you let people know
Yes.
what they need to know because we will be bound forever, bound by things that we can't change, just bound up and wrapped up real tight like a sardine in a can. And everything that you said is so true. And we appreciate you
That's
because
right.
somebody needs to hear that. Somebody needs to experience that. We want you to shout out all of your social media, everywhere people can get your books, and any interviews you have coming up.
Tell me again that some reason the last thing you said it was froze. It kind of.
That's okay. Any interviews you have coming up.
Oh, I do have an interview with Essence Magazine coming up. And so I'm super excited
Oh.
about that. And I have an interview on 95.1 coming up. So I'm super excited about both of them. I'll be on the 9 o'clock show, and I'll be being interviewed
Mm-hmm.
about all the things that I got coming up, my new books and what's new in my life, all kinds of things like that. So I'm super excited.
I'm excited. Make sure
Oh,
you.
And it
really?
was because and I'm gonna shout you all out too. And let me tell you, what's
Oh.
interesting is I would normally have a Sunrise Thursday, and because I have a Sunrise was gonna interview me about that, but because of COVID, we canceled it.
Mhm.
And so we just gonna have fun with the interview.
I'm excited. I'm
Yes,
excited. You keep doing what you're doing. Keep twerking that pen. You have so
That's
many more
right.
books coming out of you. Things are going to flow, and it's all going to fall in line.
yes,
And come
yes.
back and visit us.
Well, I will. I will. You all are such great interviewers. I love your energy.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
very much. We appreciate you sharing your space, your time, and your energy with us. You are always
Mm-hmm.
welcome back on Let's Chat.
That's right.
All right, let's chat. Let's chat. Thank you. Let's chat.
Good night.
Bye.
Good
Bye.
night. Thank you so much.
You are
You're
more than
welcome, sweetie.
welcome. All right, y'all. We are going to take a brief break and we will be right back. Thank you for
All
kicking it with the
right.
ladies in the chat room.